But first, he hunted down an MCSO officer, opened fire, all to satisfy a situation he thought deserved some payback. It's been a big story since that deputy was shot over the weekend. Tonight, though, the fatal culmination happening near Princeton University in Tempe. That's where ABC 15's Raquel Cervantes is tonight. And Raquel, bring us up to speed.
Well, it's a very complex case. The sheriff says that the suspect shot and killed himself when detectives tracked him down to these condos over here. And we're also learning that the suspect had actually been detained for DUI only 4 hours before he allegedly shot the deputy here on this street. Now the sheriff believes that the suspect was mad and targeting law enforcement. The search for a man accused of shooting a deputy over the weekend comes to an end at this condo complex. According to Sheriff Joe Arpaio, the suspect shot and killed himself when detectives entered his condo.
The way he was described, that he was a psycho or something, he wasn't a psycho at all. He was a good guy.
Michelle Martinez was a good friend of the suspect, a 51-year-old engineer. Knowing him for the last 16 years, she says this is uncharacteristic.
That just doesn't seem like his style.
Rewind to Saturday when deputies say the suspect drove by and opened fire on Deputy Brian Wisda while conducting a DUI traffic stop. Now we're learning the suspect had been detained only 4 hours before the shooting for DUI.
He's not a revengeful type person. He's not a person who, goes completely off the hook.
But Sheriff Joe Arpaio thinks otherwise and calls it a war on cops.
People going after cops for no reason. The cops are trying to do their job. And the public in Washington better get with it and start defending our cops.
He says detectives found the suspect because the deputy got a glance at his car. Surveillance led them to his home where terrified neighbors were evacuated while SWAT teams swarmed on the home.
While we were over there, we heard a gunshot.
And the sheriff says the deputy who was shot was not wearing a body cam, even though deputies are now required to after a federal lawsuit. MCSO has not yet released the identity of this suspect. Back to you.